Hi, welcome back. So far, we've gone around the basic information about dream work. From now on, from this unit on, and for maybe about a dozen of them, we will look more in depth at dream elements and how to reformulate them. And we will work out a number of examples, dream examples, how we can reformulate them. In this unit, I'd like to focus on the first thing you need to clarify when you want to translate a dream, reformulate a dream, and that is the setting of the dream. Let's make it clear. Dream elements can be a number of things. Let's look at the PPT. Dream elements can be the setting. That's where are you? Where is the dream story happening? You have to clarify that first. Afterwards, we will also look at the actors of the dream, the people who are there, of course, including the I perspective, the dreamer himself. Then we have roles and functions. What are they doing? What are these actors representing? And then the action. What actually is happening? Possibly a number of objects will attract your attention. All of these has to be very clearly identified in terms of the metaphor that they represent. And of course, also the feelings, thoughts, spoken words, before you come to the ending. How is the dream story ending? Now, I'd like to clarify that when you write down a dream story, don't mix in the story itself elements of your real life. Look at the dream story just as it is. Afterwards, it is important to have some information about your real life context situation before the dream and after the dream. But that we will deal with afterwards. Don't mix them in the same dream story. The dream story is a metaphor in action, so you want to have it particularly unified around what really was the content of the dream without the thinking that you have afterwards. So when we start with the setting of the dream, that means we look at which aspect of your personal reality is being dealt with. So you can start reformulating the setting of the dream with the words, I am in touch with the part of me that deals with so and so. And that's quite important because the dream doesn't relate to the whole of your inner or outer reality. It relates to one specific aspect of it. And you need to identify that. So which aspect? That's related to the setting. Where is the dream happening? Is it inside or outside? This relates to your inner or outer environment. We will come back to it. What kind of location? Is it a landscape? Is it a house, a building? What is the atmosphere around? Possibly, is it daylight or night? This has an importance. What kind of weather? What do you see around? Do you see far away or do you see just very close? Who else is there that attracts your attention immediately? The setting. So when you want to look at the kind of places, you could have, for example, I am in the house of my childhood. You would reformulate that by I am in touch with my childhood memories. You might also be in your own home, then I am in my inner home. Or you might be in the house of your parents or grandparents. If it's related to your childhood, it would still be your childhood memories. Or it might be a house of a friend. It might be related to whatever that friend represents. If you're lying in a hospital bed, you would be dealing with some inner healing process. A hospital is a place where you work on your physical health, but metaphorically, that would be dealing with your global health and well-being. Your growth process possibly, but specifically if you are dealing with serious problems that you need to address and heal from. If you dream that you are in a restaurant, well, then you would be taking care of your inner growth, your needs for self-nourishment. Food is not only physical food for your physical body, food would be for your soul nurturing or psychological nurturing. And of course, it's quite important that you deal with your needs for growth, because the dreams will remind you that we are in this lifetime for learning, for growth. If you dream that you are in a supermarket, then definitely you would be in touch with your inner resources. Supermarket or a shop is a place where you can have everything you want, unless the shop is a poor shop and has only a few things. Then you would be in touch with a fairly poor part of your inner resources, a reduced or limited aspect. You might not be aware of the big supermarket that you hold inside. The dream is showing you that your awareness at that moment in that situation of your inner resources is fairly small. That doesn't mean that you don't have more inner resources. We all have limitless inner resources. But the dream will show us what is our awareness of our inner resources in this or that perspective. And this is something you could possibly work out afterwards. If you dream that you are in an airport, for example, you would be in touch with your potential for a new departure in your life. Or a railway station, it's similar. Trains just don't go that far, that fast as planes. So it's a little less dynamic or resourceful than an airport. If you dream that you are in a classroom, then you would be in touch with your learning process. Classrooms, schools are for learning. You would be aware that you are learning, that you are growing. It might be a challenging time, or it might be an easy time. Whatever the feelings are, the dream will tell you. If you are in a bus or any other kind of vehicle, but a bus or a truck would have a different kind of meaning than just a car or a bicycle. Obviously, a bus is a collective vehicle. So you would be on your life track with many of your sub-personalities, possibly, if there are many people on the bus. If you are alone on the bus, then you might feel a little empty inside, not in touch with a number of your personalities, sub-personalities, at least in that perspective. Because dreams don't have to be taken generally. They may give you a message about a very specific moment in your life, or even specific experience that is coming up the next day, possibly. If you dream that you are on a highway, for example, that's another setting, you would be on a life track that feels going fast. You move forward, high speed. The train, we've seen that before already, is also your life track, but has specific characteristics. It goes on rails, so it's a very set track. You don't have the freedom to go or to stop whenever you want. And you're probably not driving that train yourself. You're just sitting there and it carries you along without you having to control where you're going. So that says something about how you feel about your life track and your way of moving forward, of driving your life or not driving your life. If you are on a mountain road, going uphill or going down, the mountain, we've already pointed at that, is a challenge. You have to go over or around. So you might find yourself on a challenging life track. So the setting is telling you a lot about what kind of part of you are you dealing with.